Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles at Memorial Stadium. On the mound for the Tigers today is Bryan Kelly, whose record is 3-3 with a 4.15 ERA. And pitching for the Orioles is Randy Jones, whose record is 3-2 with a 6.63 ERA. Okay, we are on a 5-game winning streak, which includes winning yesterday's ball game versus the Orioles 6-1. Dan Petrie threw a complete game, his first of the season, and he did not give up an earned run. So technically that one run scored by the Orioles was unearned. They made 4 errors in the ball game, and that certainly helped us out in completing the victory. So we have a bullpen that is totally healthy for today. I do believe we are sitting 1 or 2 players in order to give some rest. And then tomorrow, for tomorrow's game, we will play everybody regardless of whether they're tired or not, because we do have a day off on Monday the 6th there. So that'll be the strategy for the rest of this series. And we want to be rested, because we will face the second place Red Sox and then the up and coming Blue Jays, so that we do have our hands full in the next 7 home games. Let's go ahead and get started with today's ball game. As always, I appreciate everyone following along, like or subscribe to the channel. We will be doing a deep dive on Randy Jones. It's the first time we've seen him this year. It's 1 day off the IL for him, so he just got back from a long-term injury, and we are pitching Bryan Kelly, who is back because of the injury to Jack Morris. He was due to come back anyway, but we had to rush him back a couple of days early to fill in for Morris's spot. All of the bullpen is available, as I mentioned. Bryan Kelly has somehow not faced the Orioles. I find that hard to believe. Here's our lineup today versus Randy Jones. Jones is a left-handed contact pitcher, and we've got some lefties in the lineup. It looks like we're going to give the day off to George Brett and Glenn Wilson. Both were listed as tired. So Doug Baker will play third base today. Lemon's in at center, and we move Kevin Bass to right, and Lance Parrish will catch today because there's a left-hander on the mound. Okay, let's go ahead and do the official lineup rundown for the Tigers, and then we'll talk about Randy Jones. Batting will lead off. Playing left field is Kirk GIBSON. Batting second at first base is Greg Brock. Batting third at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting cleanup and DHing is Kenny Smith. Batting fifth and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting sixth in right field is Kevin Bass. Batting seventh in center field is Chet Lemon. Batting eighth at shortstop is Dougie Baker. And batting ninth is the second baseman, Jody Reed. Okay, Randy Jones. Randy Jones, one of the craziest baseball Cy Young winners of all time. Take a look. Remember, we started our sim in 1980, so everything before this was accomplished in real life. So take a look at some of those numbers while I read this off to you. Randy Jones was a 5th-round draft pick in 1972 out of Chapman University, which is in Orange County, California. He was drafted, of course, by the Padres. He's a 2-time All-Star in 1975 and 1976. In the 1975 game, he got the save. And in 1976, after a 16-3 start to the season, he started the All-Star game and got the win. He finished second in the Cy Young in 1975 and also won Comeback Player of the Year. As you can see, he went from 8-22 to 20-12, finishing second in the Cy Young with that 2.24 ERA. And then in 1976, he won the Cy Young, going 22-14 with a 2.74 ERA. He had 25 complete games, but probably the most amazing stat I've ever seen in the history of baseball is he pitched 315 1/3 innings pitched, and he struck out only 93. He won the Cy Young that year. And even more bizarre, and this would never happen in current sports. But despite going 16-3, he went 6-11 the rest of the way after the All-Star game, and somehow that was still good enough to win the Cy Young Award. So he did not have the highest WAR that year as a pitcher. So Tom Seaver, for example, had a higher WAR. He won the Cy Young in 75. Probably should have won it again in 76. He is the only Cy Young winner to have a career losing record. In real life, his career losing record was 100 and 123. By 1982, he had been traded to the Mets, so this is his 1983 Flair card. He did not even pitch that year for any team. I don't know why Fleer of the big three card-making companies decided to make a card of him. It's kind of bizarre. He was cut by the Mets prior to spring training. The Pirates signed him, and he was released right before the season started in 1983. So he's not even in baseball by 1984, the season we're playing. He'd already retired from professional sports. So I just find him fascinating that he's still playing in our game, and also that 93 total strikeouts in 315 and a third innings pitched. Take a look at the defense here for the Orioles. Left field and right field are both below league average. Otherwise, pretty solid all the way around. We know Ray Smith does not have a good arm. It's only rated an 80. We had 2 stolen bases in yesterday's game. Okay, here we go. Kirk Gibson leading off versus Randy Jones. A 3-1 count, and Gibson walks to start the ballgame. So we have a runner on first. Now, Jones is a left-hander, and it's still a 72% chance for Gibson to steal second. I think we have to try. Now, this is a pretty obvious situation to run. I don't know if... this is definitely a lesser percentage than 72%. With a lefty on the mound and everybody in the park knowing he's going. Here we go. Right down the middle, and Gibson does steal second base on a 78-mile-an-hour sinker. His 18th stolen base of the year. And we've got a runner in scoring position now for Greg Brock. Let's see if we can get Brock to pull it to the right side. I don't know how hard that is to do with lefty on lefty. 2-2 count. And he gets it done. Ground ball to second. That'll get Gibby over to third base. Nice location there for Jones on that pitch array. All right, we got Gibby at third. He will go on contact. Trammell, a good contact hitter. As long as he doesn't pop it up, he should score a run here. 3-1 count to Trammell, and Trammell will take ball 4. That is setting up a double play possibility for Kenny Smith. Ken Smith in the top 5 right now in RBI. He's got 45 RBI on the season. And he was at one point leading in sac flies. I don't know if he still is, but let's see if we can't get him to lift one to the outfield. It's a 2-2 count, and he strikes out. So, yeah, we're not scoring this inning then. That's a shame. 2 downs, first and third, and my large adult son, Lance Parrish, with that 167 batting average. 3-0 count, and that is the third walk in the first inning. They walk Parrish to get to Kevin Bass, a much better hitter versus lefties. He's batting .308 as a switch hitter. Will big hit Bass come through? 3-1 count, and he does come through. That's going to be off the wall in left field. Everybody scores, including Parrish from first base, and it's 3-0 Detroit. And that's our first hit. That is actually the first hit of the inning. A great job by Bass. Jumping on that sinker. Runner on second. Here's Chet Lemon, Chet the Jet. A ground ball to first, and that will end the inning. So the Tigers jump on the board 3-0. Let's take a look at the Orioles lineup rundown. Batting leadoff, playing left field, is Kevin RHOMBERG. Batting second, at second base is Tommy HERR. Batting third in right field is Bob Pate. Batting cleanup, playing first base is Jim TRABER. Batting fifth and catching is Ray Smith. Batting sixth at third base is Wayne KRENCHICKI. Batting seventh and DHing is Alan Bannister. Batting eighth in center field is Rick Manning. And batting ninth at shortstop is Bob Bonner. Julio L. mentioned that there's just an array of terrible batters in the Orioles lineup. I mean, of all the players in this lineup, who is the most famous? Is it Tommy HERR? Or is it maybe like Rick Manning? I mean, at least Rick Manning stole Dennis Eckersley's wife. I mean, that's at least an accomplishment outside of baseball. I don't know if any of those other batters can claim anything else. Bryan Kelly on the mound today. Let's take a look at him. He's making his 11th start. Just back, fresh from AAA. Whoa, he did not even make a start down there? That's great. It means he's just all nice and rested for us. He is 3-3 with a 4.15 ERA, 45 strikeouts, and 60 2/3 innings pitched. He does have a complete game this season. His fastball tops out at 93 miles an hour. He's a three-pitch pitcher. All three are great. He's got a fastball rated in 87 and a couple other pitches rated in 81. Overall, rated in 87. The 25-year-old right-hander goes to arbitration next year. Looking at his log. Okay, yeah, he last pitched in the majors on May 26th. He got the win. We still set him down anyway. He went 5 1/3. He gave up 5 hits, but he also gave up 4 walks. That was kind of the crux of sending him down. He also struck out 6 that game against the Indians. So at least he did have some success in his last start. Let's take a look at our defense. Kind of a weird setup today. We've got Baker at third, and of course we have Jody Reed at second base. Our outfield is our best possible defensive outfield. All right, Kevin RHOMBERG leading off versus Bryan Kelly. Tigers are up 3. Let's see if Kelly can hold him down. There's a looper into left center field. RHOMBERG gets, it's going to be caught by Gibson. That looks like it was going to be a little duck snort. So good job by Gibby, and we keep the speedy RHOMBERG off the base path. 1 down, here is Tommy HERR. HERR batting 307 as a switch hitter versus righties. He lines it to left field, and it will be caught by Gibson. So Gibson coming out of the dugout and just kind of running for his life out there. 2 quick outs. Bob Pate up next. He's got a full count, and Kelly walks Pate. Well, we saw what the walks did for Jones. He walked 3 batters, and they all scored. Let's hope we can keep Pate at first. Jim TRABER also walks. Okay, come on now. First and second, the tying run at the plate. It's Ray Smith. Not a ton of power. A .273 hitter with 4 home runs. And he goes to right field. That will drive in a run. Pate scores from second. TRABER goes to third. And it's 3-1 Detroit. That will bring up Wayne KRENCHICKI, the third baseman. Now they have John Castino, who won the Gold Glove, on the bench, and also Doug DeCinces. Like, wouldn't you rather have either one of those guys in there? I think they're actually doing a platoon lefty-righty with KRENCHICKI and Castino. 0-2 count to KRENCHICKI as a ground ball to first, and Brock will step on the bag. So we limit the damage to 1 run. Go to the top of the second, and Doug Baker will lead it off. Baker, Reed, and Gibby are due up. 1-0 count to Baker. Hot shot to first. TRABER making the play. Their infield is pretty solid, with the exception of KRENCHICKI, which is above league average. But if they had Castino in there, He probably wouldn't make 4 errors every ball game. There's one down, and Jody Reed, who was batting .303 before that at bat, also grounds out to TRABER. So 2 quick outs. Here's Gibby, got it all started, taking that walk in the first. And Gibby finally unloads a home run to dead center field. That is only his 4th home run on the season. So frustrating that he has not been able to power up much. And that might be because we have put him at the start, at the top of the lineup. Greg Brock taps it back to the pitcher, and that will do it. Brock has been struggling versus lefties, and maybe this is time for us, now that we know that he's kind of tanking it, to get Rusty Tillman in there and maybe give a platoon job when we have lefties, at least for now, going forward. So we go to the bottom of the second. Brian Kelly gets a ground ball out in front of home plate. Looks like Parrish jumped on it, threw him out. It'd be nice to have a 1-2-3 inning for Kelly. Here's Rick Manning. Oh no. That is the 3rd walk for Kelly. And now I'm definitely concerned about him as a starter going forward for us. We don't have much depth. We have a lot of good young players as Bonner hits a ground ball to second. I mean, we have, as a double play, it's a great job there by Jody Reed, and also Kelly covering first. We go to the top of the 3rd. It's 4-1. Alan Trammell will lead off. I was saying that we have Danny Jackson, we have Jeff Robinson, we have David Cohn, we have Doug Drabeck. Trammell flying out to left center field, but none of them are proven. So if we have trouble with Brian Kelly going forward, we may have to make a trade. Here's Kenny Smith. Smith will always take a walk, leading the team in walks and in many other categories. Not a bad thing to pitch around Smith to get to Parrish. Parrish walked his first time up, but he's a double play waiting to happen. 2-1 count, and a base hit up the middle. Maybe Parrish is coming around. Smith will hold at second base. Parrish just below the Mendoza line now. He can actually see the horizon, which has been a while. It's first and second. Here's Kevin Big Hit Bass. He had the 3 RBI double in the first. Full count, and he hits a ground ball to second. That's a double play. 4-6-3. Orioles keep the Tigers off the board. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and we're back with Kevin RHOMBERG leading off. RHOMBERG, .295 hitter. He's got a home run. Ground ball to first. Brock making the play. 1 out. Okay. Next man up is Tommy HERR, and HERR walks. That's 4 walks and no strikeouts for Kelly. I mean, so far they have not done any damage, but I'm already getting someone up in the bullpen. Maybe it's Gumpy Gumpert. Bob Pate with a ground ball to short. Trammell starting the double play. 6-4-3. Double play. Double plays are wild now. It's the 3rd half inning in a row. We go to the top of the 4th. Chet Lemon leading off. Lemon 0 for 1 today. And a blooper into right center field. Good job dumping it into that hole out there in the outfield. Do we want to go for 2? We want to, but we're not going to. And it looks like we're having some weird delays here. Apologize for that. A 4-1 lead. Normally I would consider laying down a bunt with Dougie Baker, but I think we'll just let him take a cut. It's a 1-1 count. And a base hit to left field. Good call on my part. Sometimes the best decision you can make is not making any decision at all. Just push the button. First and 3rd. Nobody out for Jody Reed. Reed's 0 for 1, but he's batting .400 this year in limited duty versus lefties. Base hit to right field. It gets down and all the way to the wall. Baker scores from first. It is 6-1. Reed with a 2 RBI double, his 4th of the year. Speaking of players batting .400, have you seen that Luis Arraez of the Marlins is batting .399 right now? And he plays every day. It's amazing. I love hitters that put the ball in play and get hits. You know my favorite player is Tony Gwynn, and I'm a huge fan of George Brett, clearly. And I admire Wade Boggs' drinking ability. Here's Kirk Gibson. Gibby's going in the hole all the way to deep center field. We are going to send the runner home, and Jody Reed is safe at the plate. It is 7-1, and the Tigers are opening up a can on Randy Jones. It's only the 4th inning. I kind of want to steal again, but now I feel like we can't. We gotta just let the bats speak for the team here. And Greg Brock, the Brock Ness monster, he dinosaur-armed it right out into center field for a 2-run home run. That is Brock's 11th home run on the season. It's 9-1 Detroit. And I can't believe they're keeping Randy Jones in the game, but their bullpen is trash as well. They've really only got Pete Ladd and Bruce Sutter. Still nobody out as Alan Trammell pops out first. 1 down. Here is Kenny Smith. The next question is, can we get Brian Kelly to the 5th inning? Oh no, an error on Bonner. The best defensive player on the team. And that's it. They can't take any more from Jones. They're going to bring in Scott Bankhead, who in 1984 was on the USA baseball team with Mark McGuire. This is his 5th appearance. No record with a .480 ERA, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts in 15 innings pitched. Opponents are betting .263 against him. He's only got an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. He is a ground ball pitcher 55% of the time. His sinker is his best pitch. It's rated an 85. Damn, he's got 1 day till rested. He's actually already tired, in theory. Overall, he's rated an 80. The 20-year-old right-hander goes to arbitration in 1986. Okay, well, now normally Lance Parrish does not bat versus righties, but we'll let him bat. Why not? We'll give Kennedy the full day off. And a ground ball to second base. And that's an easy double play. That is the 4th combined double play today. And the Tigers get 5 in that inning. It's 9-1. Brian Kelly, he's only given up 1 hit, but he's walked 4 and has not been steady yet. 1-2 count to TRABER, and TRABER smacks it right back through the box into center field. So the leadoff man is on. We can afford to let Brian Kelly take a few lumps. And the way that the double plays are going right now, there we go. Slow roller to second. First baseman running. That is 5 half innings in a row in which there's been a double play. The bottom of the second, top of the third, bottom of the third, top of the fourth, and now the bottom of the fourth. So after, 5 total errors yesterday, looks like we've kind of put it together. There's another walk by Brian Kelly. 5 walks. Unbelievable. He's only at 57 pitches, so he's efficiently walking people. And another ground ball to second. Jody Reed flips it over to Trammell, and they get the force to end the inning. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. Scott Bankhead coming back out. Here is Kevin Bass. Bass 1 for 2 today. Big double. Ground ball to short. Bonner handles this one cleanly. There's 1 out. Next man up is Chet Lemon. Lemon gets plunked. That might be a little bit of revenge, but Lemon, one of the baseball players who most frequently gets hit by pitch. Now, it doesn't really reflect it in our sim, although that is his third time this year. But he used to get plunked all the time. Wait, let's see. Oh, no, I thought it was going to show his batting stance. So it's kind of hard to imitate that. Okay, we've got a runner on first with one out. Will we get with one out? Will we get another double play here? Dougie Baker. Oh, Baker gets a base hit into center field. We're going to send the runner to third. Lemon safe at third base. Doug Baker, 9th Tigers hit today. Our hits have finally matched our runs. First and third, one down. Jody Reed will let him take a cut. 0-2 count. And Reed pops it up. Bonner calling for it. Making the catch. 2 down for Gibby. Gibson, first time facing Bankhead, obviously, and he strikes out on a check swing. Well, we strand the runners. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Can we get Brian Kelly through this? Here's Rick Manning, batting .357 versus righties. And he flies it to right. Bass making the catch. There's one out. Bobby Bonner. Ground ball to short. Out number 2. Wouldn't this be great to have a 1-2-3 inning? 1-0 count. No! I jinxed it again. Base hit to center. RHOMBERG on first. They're going to do everything they can this game, Will, to get you to pull him before he completes the inning, I bet. Fly ball to center. Nope, I called it wrong. Fly ball and caught by Lemon in center field. So Kelly at least is eligible for the victory. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Here's Scotty Bankhead. Again, 1 day until rested, and yet, I guess he's only thrown 17 pitches. He's not tired. 1-2 count to Brock. Wow. Brock. Was he even trying? Come on, man. There we go. Alan Trammell with the base hit to left. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. Who's doing what so far? That is actually Trammell's first hit. You see home runs there from Gibby and Brock. And Bass has a 3 RBI. It's kind of tough to say who the player of the game is so far. Now Ken Smith is 0 for 2 with a walk. And he'll take another. First and second with one out. Both of these pitchers, all 3 of the pitchers in today's game have been wild. Lance Parrish will take a walk. Parrish finding ways to get on base. That will load the bases for the second time today for Kevin Bass. He has a 3 RBI double. Let's see what he does here with the bases loaded. 0-2 count. Oh, he strikes out swinging for out number 2. Chet Lemon, he does have a hit. We don't expect anything from Lemon. But he will take a ball forward to walk in a run. It's 10-1. What is wrong with these pitchers, man? All right. Here's Doug Baker. I was thinking Scotty Madison. Doug Baker, bases loaded, 2 down. And a ground ball to Bonner. And we strand the bases, juiced. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. We got 2 out of the 3 batters coming up as right-handers. So let's see if, Kelly's only thrown 67 pitches. Those 5 walks, though, are stressing me out. Can't even get a strikeout today. That was a 2-2 count versus Pate, who pops it up to Reed. 1 out. Here's Jim TRABER. TRABER, a ground ball in the hole. It's short. Trammell had to go deep to get it. It's out number 2. And Ray Smith, the catcher, a ground ball to short. I kept my mouth shut that time. And we do get a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the 7th. It's 10-1 Detroit. Scott Bankhead, 2 2/3 innings. If it wasn't for his endurance, I'd say make this guy a starter. Oh, now he's tired. And he walks Jody Reed. That's the 4th walk issued by Bankhead. Leadoff man is on. Here we go for Gibby. Gibby, a ground ball to first. There's no way they're going to turn 2 on that. Oh, my God. A 3-6-1 double play. We're going to pull Greg Brock and pinch hit Rusty Tillman. Give him a couple at bats here with a 9-run lead. Here's Tillman. He had a base hit in his debut. Oh no, he goes up Otako over the fence in right field for his first major league home run. It's 11-1 Detroit. Unbelievable. Everybody's getting into the game. Very exciting today. And then TRAMMELL strikes out, showing a little mercy. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. I think I've seen all I need to see from Brian Kelly today. He went 6, gave up a run on 3 hits, did not strike out anybody, which is alarming. Walking 5. Now, we do have Roy Thomas back, by the way. We're almost another few days. We'll have our full bullpen back to where it belongs. Okay, let's bring in Morris Madden here. This is his 13th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.55 ERA, 10 strikeouts in 12 and 2/3 innings. He's given up a lot of hits. We're kind of trying to work that out here. A 364 opponent's batting average, 93-mile-an-hour fastball, ground ball percentage is 45%. 2-seam fastball, that's his best pitch. It's rated at 86, fastball at 84. Overall rated an 80. The 23-year-old lefty goes to arbitration in 1986. Okay. Wayne KRENCHICKI. Wow, it says he's batting 500 versus lefties. He's 4 for 8, so he just doesn't bat. So they do have a platoon at third, it looks like. Here we go. Oh, no. Well, that doesn't surprise me. A walk. KRENCHICKI on first. No lead is safe in Mogul. There's a ground ball to second. Can we get another double play? Only play was to go to first. There's 1 out. Here's Rick Manning. Manning batting 333 versus lefties. Another ground ball to Reed. That'll get KRENCHICKI over. 2 down. Here is Bob Bonner. He is 0 for 2 today. And a 2-0 count. High fly ball into right center field. I think Bass is going to make the catch. He does. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Here's another pitcher. This is Jeff Schneider. Jeff Schneider's doing all right this year. The 31-year-old left-hander is in his 13th game, 1-1 with a 3.57 ERA. Wow, he's walked 10 more than he struck out. That's not a good sign. Opponents are batting 227 against him. No saves, 2 blueies. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 48.4%. The changeup is his only good pitch, above league average anyway, at 83. Overall is 76. The 31-year-old lefty is a free agent at the end of the year. Jeff Schneider, of course, his only claim to fame is that he is on the same rookie baseball card with Bobby Bonner and the great Cal Ripken Jr. Here we go, Ken Smith leading off. Lefty on lefty violence. Left field. I'm sorry. Line drive into center field. There's 1 out. Here's Lance Parrish. He's having a day. He's 1 for 2. 2 walks. A 1-2 count. And a ground ball to short. Making contact. He has not struck out today. 2 down. Here is Kevin Bass. He got everything started way back in the first with that 3 RBI double. And he pops it up in the foul ground. So Schneider does his job. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Good job by Morris Madden. let's bring in Carl Willis here. Trying to find pitchers that need a little bit of work. Carl Willis still trying to work out the kinks back from AAA. He had a good rookie season. We called him up in September. Pitched really well for us. He hasn't been able to duplicate that. Kevin RHOMBERG, a ground ball to Tillman at first. There's one out. Next man up is Tommy HERR. A ground ball to second. 2 quick outs for Willis and Bob Pate. The ground ball in the hole at short. Trammell's making them all day. Makes that one too. Finally, we reach the 9th inning. Schneider will come out and try to wrap this up for the Orioles. Chet Lemon leading off. Oh no, Chet Lemon. You know you're having a bad day when you're giving up the long ball to Chet Lemon. Is that his first of the season? That is his first in 40 games this year. That is pathetic. This guy hit 21 home runs in the first year of our sim. And then he had 18 in 82. We traded for him in 83, and he's just been a shell of himself. The Brewers knew what they were doing when they gave him away, but we'll take that home run. It's a junk run. We'll take all we can get. Doug Baker had a good day today. He's 2 for 5 now with that fly out to center. Jody Reed 1 for 3 with the 2 RBIs. He'll take a walk because, of course, I bet you we've had more than 20 players on base today. Runner at first. Here's Gibby. Gibby's got a dong. Striking out. And we're down to our final batter. It's Rusty Tillman. He came in the 7th inning. All he did was hit a home run. And a comebacker to Schneider. And that'll do it. We are going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's bring in the creeper to close this out. Try to get that ERA down. He's been pitching really well lately. You'll see he's 0-1 with that 7.84 ERA. 7 strikeouts and 10 1/3. Opponent's batting average is .326. So he's got a little work to do. Jim TRABER leading off. Base hit the right. Why are the lefties always hitting the lefties? I don't get it. He was batting under 200 before that base hit. Runner on first. Oh, are the Orioles going to get a bunch of runs here? Is that what's going to happen? As Ray Smith flies out to left. Here's Wayne KRENCHICKI, still batting .500 versus lefties. Let's get a double play to end this game right now. Ground ball to first. Can Tillman pivot? Turn 2? No. It's all in the hips. Couldn't get it done. 1 out, runner in scoring position. Here's Alan Bannister. I'm sorry, it's 2 out. And that should do it. Bannister popping it up to Tillman at first. And the Tigers win a rout. It's 12-1. Handshakes, butt slaps, slappy steaks. All right, that's a good victory. No trade offers. Let's take a look at the standings. I mean, the draft takes place in just a couple of days. You think there might be some more retirements. Everybody in the top gets a win. Baltimore's falling back to 6 back now. Toronto lost. They're 5 back. Oakland, half game up on Seattle. Chicago has won in a row, and they are 1.5 games back. Nicely done. Let's take a look at the National League. Philadelphia and LA both beginning to run away with it. 4.5 up on the Mets, and the Dodgers are 5 up on Cincinnati. You know that won't last. Let's take a look at the headline news. Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. White Sox closes the gap to 1.5 game. White Sox close gap. Who's the editor of this paper? Britt Burns pitched strongly for 9 innings. That's also known as a complete game, I think. Indians' number 8 hitter, Juan Bonilla, did nothing. The Indians are revamping their lineup. They have Thomas Howard in there now. They brought him up from the minors. That's all there is. Okay, let's take a look at transactions. Oh, there's a trade, and there's money. Holy smokes. Oh, okay, so let's talk about this. This is great. Okay, this is really great. So Texas trades the injured. I just looked at Texas before I played this game today, so I know all this already. Bryn Smith, who's injured, is traded to the Yankees for Rodney McRae and money. Now, the money is very vital to this deal, and I'll show you here in a minute. Let's take a look at Bryn Smith. He's going to miss 18 more days. Will he go into... I mean, they have so much depth in starting pitching. I got to change that to a Yankees name there on the card. He's not even good. I don't understand. But he was 2-9 before the trade with a 5.68 ERA. Rodney McRae, the guy that ran through the wall for the White Sox minor league team. Yeah, this guy's terrible, right? So they're getting nothing out of him at all in Texas. What matters most is the moolah, and I'm going to show you why right here. Texas. Okay, they just got that money. They were one of 3 teams that were projected to lose money this year, and I think maybe it's too late. Let's see here. They were in the negative with cash, right? $510,000 in cash is what they have right now before they got that $740,000. No, they were $240,000 or $230,000 in the hole prior to getting that money. And so their expenses now, oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So they're still at zero. So they have to recalculate. So they're not spending money on medical. I mean, everyone's hurt on this team a little bit. They're spending no money on scouting. Nope, they don't know if anybody's good. And their farm system is not improving at all. And they have the 16th highest salary in the major leagues. So now that they've got some cash, I think that'll change. Maybe we'll check tomorrow after tomorrow's game and see if it updates. But that's just of note. I actually looked at that right before we started the game. So that's just a crazy coinky-dink there. So Charlie Lay of Montreal is going to miss not even a start. Also, Mike Sharperson of the Dodgers is going to, he broke a vertebrae. So he's done at third base for the Dodgers this year. And then Dave LaRoche is going to retire. And it probably seems like a good idea. He was a free agent anyway. All right, that's going to do it. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and or subscribe to the channel. Keep in mind that after the game on the 8th of our calendar here, that is the amateur draft. So when that game concludes, it will go right into the draft. So stay tuned for that. Should be fun. Player of the game. Man, everybody was kung fu fighting on this team today. I want to say, I guess, don't we just give it to Kevin Bass? He only had 1 hit, but he drove in the most runs, and that was in the first, and the game was over. Bass and Reed had the double. We had 4 home runs in the ball game. Chet Lemon got hit by a pitch. How many walks did they have? They walked 9, so they gave up 21 plus a hit by pitch, so 22 base runners in that game. That is a bummer for them. Bullpen came in, did their job. ERA is getting lowered. We needed that. Brian Kelly did not really pitch well. 5 walks, no strikeouts, but he does get the win. He's 4-3. Randy Jones did not pitch like a Cy Young Award winner. He falls to 3-3 in his first start off the IL. So that's going to do it. We're going to come back tomorrow with Game 3 of the series. Until then, everyone, have a great day.